Chapter 9, Our Forest Resources. In this chapter, we will learn about types of forests in India, the distribution of forests, and the different kinds of trees found in the forest. Understanding climate. Uttarakhand and many areas of the northern states of India were covered with dense Himalayan forest. These have been cut down on a large scale for development. As the population increased, the forest began to disappear. In ancient times, forests were worshipped by people. Gautam Buddha, King Ashoka, and Akbar wanted that both animals and plants must be protected and preserved. So, what happened is that because due to the increase in population, these area, the Uttarakhand and many areas in the northern state of India, which were once covered with dense forest, have now been cut down to make houses and buildings and roads and all that to cater to the increasing population and their housing demand. So during the British rule in India, teak, sal and sandalwood trees were cut down for export. After independence, many laws were passed in order to protect and preserve the environment. The Himalayan region is very fragile and is prone to landslide and earthquakes. Widespread cutting of trees and poaching of animals destroy the environment. Once these places were filled with trees like teak, sal and sandalwood trees, and these were cut down for selling it to other countries, means export. After independence, when India got independence, many laws were passed on how to protect and preserve the environment, which means that nobody can cut down the trees without any specific purpose. There were laws which were passed in order to protect the environment. And the Himalayan region is anyways very delicate and is very prone to landslide and earthquake. You must be hearing news about how landslide and earthquake keep happening in these areas. Why? Because this Himalayan region is very fragile and it is prone to landslide and earthquake. And as more and more trees are being cut down, it is becoming even more fragile. Forests help in preventing soil erosion and flood. Forests are home to a number of trees, plants, variety of animals. They not only provide us fresh air but are also the source of a number of products like wood, bamboo, rubber, medicinal herbs. See, this is a picture of a house, how it is being destroyed because of a landslide. When the land comes down, it slides. Whatever building or structure is there on that land, it also slides. And how this destruction happens. Now let's understand the different types of forest. There are different kind of forest in our country. Mountain forest, when this type of forest stretches from the western Himalayas to the eastern Himalayas. The trees found in the western part are broad-leaved like oak and walnut. The eastern part receives very heavy rainfall and the vegetation here is lush and green. Some of the trees found in this region are fern and bamboo. Coniferous trees are tall, cone-shaped and have needle-like leaves. These trees are also found in the higher regions of the Himalayas, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh. Cheer, deodar, fir, oak, maple, pine, spruce, these are found in the very higher regions. As you go up, you will find these trees. Pine forests are found on the steep dry slopes of the Shivalik hills, western and central Himalayas and Khasi, Naga, Manipur hills. When you go to the hill stations, try to observe these different types of forest and the trees being told here. You will find that these needle-like leaves of the pine tree and various other kind like cheer, deodar, fir and oak. Alpine forests are found in the regions where there is heavy snowfall. Most alpines are found all along the Himalayas and on the higher hills near the Myanmar border. The second type is deciduous forest. The deciduous forests cover a large part of India. The trees found in this region are tall with broad trunks. They usually have branching trunks and roots to hold them firmly to the ground. Some of the taller trees shed their leaves in the dry season. There is another layer of evergreen shrubs below the taller trees. Some of the trees found in this region are mango, neem, bamboo, shisham and rosewood. The wood of these trees is very expensive and hard and is mainly used for building houses and furniture. Deciduous forests can be found in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Next type is swamp forest. Swamp forests are found along the Andaman and Nicobar Island and the delta areas of the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers. They are also known as mangrove forests. They consist mainly of mangrove, dates and palms. The roots of these trees have soft tissues. The state of West Bengal has a huge area of mangrove forest. A tree called Sundari grows in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. The region is also referred to as the Sundarbans, named after this tree. The roots of the trees found in the Sundarbans are above the water level to breathe through the pores. So, the roots usually are below the land in the soil, but here the roots are above the water level because it is so watery and swampy. These roots are not able to breathe or will die if they are submerged in the water. That's why they are on the water level so that it can breathe through its pores. Next type is wet evergreen forests. They are found in the south along the western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar Island and all along the northeastern region, covering the states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya and Tripura. These forests are characterized by tall, straight, evergreen trees that have a buttress trunk or root on three sides like a tripod that helps to keep them upright during a storm. These trees often rise to a great height before they spread their branches like cauliflower. The common trees found here are rosewood, mahogany and ebony. Next type is desert thorn forest. The thorn forests are found in the desert region of Rajasthan and Gujarat. The trees and shrubs found in this region have long roots to absorb water from the soil. So it is so interesting to see that according to the areas, to the weather, climate, how the trees are adapted to its region. Here in the desert thorn forest, the roots are submerged very deep in the soil so that it is able to absorb water from the soil as much as it can absorb water from the soil, because the desert area is anyways very less in water. So in order for the plants to survive, they have very long elongated roots so that it can absorb water from as much area as possible. Thick bark and small leaves are other features of the trees found in this area. Babul and kikar are the main trees found here. So these were the different types of forests. Nature's bounty. India's wildlife is rich and diverse. The forests are home to many reptiles and wild animals. There are almost 500 wildlife sanctuaries in India. Sanctuary means a reserved area in which the birds and the other animals are protected. Wildlife sanctuaries are places where animals are protected. India has a vast forest cover and is home to a number of rare and threatened animal species. Wildlife sanctuaries are essential to protect rare animals. There are over 100 national parks in India. Biosphere reserves protect larger areas of natural habitat, and many also include one or more national parks. National park is a tract of land which is declared a public property by the government in order to preserve its natural habitat. There are 18 biosphere reserves in India which give protection to the animals, plants, and people who live in these areas. So, which are some of the famous biosphere reserves in India? Nanda Devi, Gulf of Mannar, Nilgiri, Nokrek, and Sundarban. So, protect the mother nature. The number of movements have taken place in India to prevent cutting down of forest. Remember the Chipko movement, which started in April 1973 in Uttarakhand in a village called Mandal. There were a large number of women activists who contributed in saving thousands of trees by hugging them. They won't allow cutting of those trees. They hugged the trees and said, "We won't let you cut the trees." The movement was led by Gaura Devi, Bachni Devi, Dhoom Singh Negi, Sundarlal Bahuguna, and Chandi Prasad Bhatt. Do you know, in 2009, women in Himachal Pradesh tied rakhis on the trees to protect them? So, these are the various stories we will always keep hearing, that how some people are so passionate about environment that they have different ways to protect the environment, and they will keep doing so. We must all have that integrity to protect the environment because it is so crucial for our living. We must love and protect our environment.